Hello, how are you doing? I hope you're having an amazing day and welcome back to another video. I think that most people when they're looking for a gimbal, one of their main focus is the payload, which is not a bad thing. I also do the same, and that's the reason why the DJI RS3 Mini is usually my go-to gimbal for content creation. So when DJI released the RS4, I felt that some of the features that it had were not very interesting. But then I got the chance to use it for a few weeks and I realized that I was wrong about a few things. So in this video, I want to show you what you're getting or not getting with these two gimbals. And just to be clear, nobody paid me to say anything good or bad about these products. The payload on the RS3 Mini is about 2 kilos, and for a camera like the Sony a7 IV, this is more than enough when I use it with most of my prime lenses. But when I want to use a zoom lens like the 24 to 105mm, the RS3 Mini will not support this when I zoom in all the way unless I rebalance the gimbal, and this is not even about the weight because this combination is less than 1.4 kilos. The RS4 can hold up to 3 kilos, and because the motors are way stronger, if I go again from 24 to 105mm, the gimbal will keep working without a problem, and even though there is going to be a warning on the screen, I do like that the motors are able to keep up and not fail. These two gimbals can be used in horizontal or vertical mode. The RS3 Mini will take a few steps where you need to remove the camera. Removing this horizontal plate takes a bit of patience, and then you can slide the mount with the camera like this, and depending on your setup, you might have to rebalance the gimbal before you can use it. On the RS4, changing the orientation is so fast and so easy that you're going to be making content in no time by just unlocking this knob over here and then pushing the safety button so you can pull this entire plate out. And now you only have to align this section with this other one, lock it back again, and you are good to go. I have used many gimbals in the past and all of them feel more challenging when you want to change the orientation. And even though I don't shoot in vertical too often, I have to admit that this feels like a game changer, in my opinion. With the RS4, my advice is to rebalance the gimbal, but depending on the weight of your camera and the lens, you might get away without having to do so, like in this case, which is good if you are the run and gun type of person. There is one feature on the RS4 that a lot of users have been talking about. It is the automatic locking system, and this is one of those things that nobody cares about. At least that's how I felt until I got to use it more frequently. With a quick push of a button, the gimbal will go into a sleep mode, recentering and locking all the axes. Or you can turn the gimbal off and this will make all the arms go into the compact position and it will lock everything up, and when you want to use it again, every axis will be unlocked in just a few seconds. And of course, it will go back to the shooting position. If you've ever had the gimbal, you should know that this normally takes some time to get the arms on the right position and look for each of the locks. Sometimes you might even need to put the gimbal down. So this function on the RS4 is absolutely amazing. You don't even need to look at the gimbal. It's a time saver and you won't ever have to walk around with these arms or the camera moving around, which by the way, it's not really safe. So one of the most annoying parts of having a gimbal is when you need to balance your camera. The bad news is that this hasn't changed, but the good news is that every arm now has a Teflon coating, very similar to the non-sticky pan that you probably use every morning, and this makes every arm slide very smoothly. With other gimbals, sometimes it feels like an ongoing fight, and it gets to the point where I feel like my patience is being tested. A big concern that some users have is about the battery and what will happen in a few years when it doesn't work anymore. The one on the RS3 Mini is not replaceable, and I wish it was like the RS4, where you can remove the battery grip from the gimbal and replace it with another one if something happens to the one that you have, instead of having to send your gimbal to DJI because nobody wants to do that, right? But this is also great if you need extra power if you're going to record for over 12 hours, which is what this battery grip is going to last. And just so you have a better idea of what to expect, on the RS3 Mini, the battery will last for about 10 hours. Something that I like about the RS3 Mini is the compact design that it has. It feels more discreet, and I've never had any problems like when I tried to use the RS4 in a few places when I was told that professional equipment was not allowed. The RS3 Mini is also lighter at around 1 kilo with the tripod, and the RS4 weighs about 500 grams more, but I like the fact that collapsing this gimbal to carry around doesn't take a lot of space, which is good when you're trying to squeeze everything inside your backpack. When it comes to the stabilization, I really can't tell a difference between these two gimbals. They are going to perform very well on most situations, whether you're trying to get smooth movement shots or if you're running for fast moving videos. As I said in the beginning, the RS3 Mini has been one of the gimbals that I use the most, but besides everything that I mentioned, it's hard to ignore that the RS4 has many other features that make it easier to use. For example, I love the manual switch on the right side to change the gimbal mode, which is faster and more convenient. There is also another switch on the left side that lets you use the digital zoom on your camera with the joystick, or zoom in or out if you have a power zoom lens. For this, you need to connect both devices with Bluetooth so you don't have to use any cables. And using the RS4 with other accessories like the Raven Eye or a motor like this one to control the focus or the zoom on your lens makes this an all-around gimbal that can be used for different activities or content creation. At the end of the day, the way I feel about the RS3 Mini hasn't really changed. I love the smaller design, the low weight, and the fact that this has a much lower price than the RS4. So it's not hard to recommend this gimbal. If you're looking for a gimbal that has a higher capacity, I know that there are other brands in the market like the Crane 4, which feels like a tank, and it's a good device, but you're not getting any of the features that you get on the RS4. The replaceable battery grip, quick vertical mode, easy to balance arms with a Teflon coat, the interface on the screen is easier to use, and I can keep going and going, but now that I think about it, if I had to go back in time, I would spend the extra money just for the automatic locking system. And to DJI, I just want to say, if you're going to make the RS4 Mini at some point, please let it have this fantastic feature. In the meantime, the links to these two gimbals are going to be down below, and if you use any of them to buy them, it will support the channel. But don't forget to also give this video a like. I hope you're having an amazing day, and that's it. Time to work on the next video. Bye.